All right, guys, we are here in the Nonsense Garage breaking down all things Michigan. We're only like 2 or 3 hours removed from getting back on my lid. I did not have a fun ride today, but Tyler Reddick did. So we're going to break down Michigan right here in a second, Pennies. Buckle up.
Stacking them deep, selling them cheap.
It tastes like gasoline, rubber, and victory.
We're just out here stacking pennies.
Let's go. Here we are. Corey LaJoie alongside Ryan Flores. How was your day?
My day was fine. It was better than yours.
It was.
Let's touch a couple things before we get into it. Clash, Bowman Gray.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm
You've got
excited
a
we don't
win
have to
there?
fly across the entire country just to drive right down the road. Bowman Gray Stadium.
Yep, that'll be really cool. Hopefully I have a modified race there, but it's a bummer for me because it's the same weekend as Atlantic City, so I might have to try to do a double, or if I have a modified
I'll
there,
drive your car.
you can drive it.
Yeah, it's cool just to tie NASCAR back to its roots. It's going to be a neat thing. And also shout out Justin Swilling. Justin Swilling's going to be – he got tabbed to be kind of the point of contact for NASCAR running that race. He deserves it. He's been on the NASCAR driver services team for a while. Good old Legends car racer.
Summer shootout guy. Yeah, didn't he work with Bubba for a while? Did he work?
Maybe.
I'm getting him mixed up.
With Kyle Hall.
Swilling, yeah, Kyle Hall, Swilling. But, yeah, there's like a whole bunch of that summer shootout group. Brennan Poole was part of it. Bubba. There's a lot of guys that are still, if they're not driving, they're still in the talent pool of NASCAR pulling the ropes.
Have you heard any of the changes they're going to make to the track or anything?
I haven't.
Leave the guardrail at like a 35-degree bend.
No, but like that's something a local short track, like the infrastructure of it, the walls, the catch fences, the pit road entrances, that's something that just takes money. And as somebody that has tested the barriers at Bowman Gray quite recently, they're due for an upgrade. So,
but at least they collapsed.
No, I pulled that 1,000-pound stump of concrete out of the ground.
Well, imagine if it didn't move. That would hurt more.
It was great where everything worked the way it should have, but if you're bringing cup cars there, you have the opportunity to spend some money, upgrade the facility, and it can only be positives. I don't see them bringing cup cars there with a guardrail.
No.
So that'll just make, everything better. Bowman Gray is really cool, really special. Excited to see it. Next thing on the list, Haas Factory team announced their drivers for Xfinity, Mayer and Creed. Herbst is out of the 98. Sounds like he might be going cup racing. Thoughts on that?
Is that back on now? The Herbst to the 2311?
Hey man, I'm not here to break news, but that's what I've heard.
I hadn't heard. Well, I heard Hurdle's on, Hurdle's off, Hurdle's on, Hurdle's off.
I don't know. As the chips begin to fall, it seems like it could be a plausible.
Justin Allgaier, right? Won the Xfinity race.
Yeah.
That package was not good.
Another car flipped. Did they have a different package?
Whatever it was where they go like 150 miles an hour wide open and look like they're just putting along, that's the one they went with. It was not entertaining to watch. The worst news of the week, Scott Bloomquist.
Yep.
The greatest of all time dirt late model driver, involved in an airplane crash on his family's property and passed away.
Yeah, a lot coming out after that, I will say. Scott Bloomquist, we've been around him a little bit, obviously doing a little bit of dirt racing here and there.
Poured an insert for him.
Yeah, I've never been around him a ton, but we hung out with him at the shop here with Randy Sweet, R.I.P. Randy Sweet. He was never, I don't think Scott Bloomquist is ever going to be a guy that passed away in a bed.
No.
Like that just goes out, so he was always going to go out in a flash. So prayers to his family, friends, and his fans. It was really cool to see Tyler Reddick get the win today because Tyler Reddick's score, he's a dirt late model guy that raced with Bloomquist quite a bit, and to see him get a little bit emotional on the front stretch talking about that was full circle.
Yeah, so that was pretty neat. So let's just go ahead and talk about it. The flip, that was not fun. We had a really good car. Knew we had a good car from Sunday. I think we ran 50 laps. I drove past, 12, 15 cars. Then ran inside the top 12, top 15 after that. I think when the rain started falling, we were 12th, so I was feeling really good about it.
So I saw TJ. I don't want to get too far ahead of you, but I saw TJ Majors getting on the plane, and he said that Noah had used you up the corner before pretty bad.
They didn't really use me up necessarily, but I had got the top burned in and I was making hay, and he just closed it a couple times real late. When somebody's coming with that amount of steam, you usually leave a lane.
Now bring me up to speed. Where are you running at this point?
I don't know.
Ooh, oh, he did. Yeah, that's...
So this is probably 16th maybe, next lap. Hang on, let's just back that up. That was too quick. So
let's just go back to run etiquette. Most of the time off the corner there, when you have that much of a run, you expect him to leave you a lane.
Yeah.
Especially when you're not running for the win with still a pit cycle to go. There's quite a bit more time in the race, right?
Yeah.
This type of stuff, closing off runs like this, is something you see with 5 to go or when you're guarding position after a pit cycle. Is that why you run the back one, because you're just expecting there to be a lane there?
Yeah. And I was kind of good with if he just spun off my bumper there at that point in time, because he had done it the lap before that even as well.
So it's building up.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's racing you.
We're both racing hard. Yeah,
that was pretty bad.
So he closed that off, a little bit frustrated. Get a run. Try to get to his left rear to pull him around, and probably a combination of me not giving enough margin for error. He comes to the left probably a foot, and that thing got airborne quickly. There was a big headwind from turn 3 into turn 2, like 12 to 15 miles an hour. You're going about 182 to 185 there. Obviously that was a concoction for a liftoff. So I hit him, and I started spinning out. I'm like, damn it, all right, just lock it down. Try to keep this thing going. I'll drive it around with flats on, and we'll put tires on it, and we'll still try to. I was thinking about that all in the span of while I was getting sideways, and then it picked up, and I'm like, oh, shit.
I'm flying in the air.
I'm flying through the air. And there's like rocks and dust and dirt, and I'm like, my eyes are kind of like closed because my stuff, like there's sparks and stuff hitting me in the face. I'm like, why am I getting stuff in my eye here? I'm like, oh, my visor's open. So I shut my visor. I'm like holding my visor like this. Then I hit the wall upside down, and the wheel like rips out of my hand, and I was like, oh shoot, like I'm still going pretty fast. Let me grab my seatbelts. And then I got to the grass, and it was like and then like a freaking bigger than a softball sized clump of grass landed right in my lap.
Did you save it?
No, I don't save my garbage relics like you do behind you in your backdrop.
Maybe you should have.
Paint chips. I probably should have, and I just like picked it up. It was like this big. I had like dirt in my eyes and stuff all over, and I just like flip it to the right side of the car, and I was just like, yeah. This par for the course this year.
This is my 2024.
This is
I've
it.
Flipped over going in a straight line.
Yeah.
This is where I'm at.
You know, I got, if 3,000 people didn't ask me if I was doing okay, not one had, but I'm doing fine. Appreciate you for asking. Pretty much just more frustrated how the year's gone more than how I feel. I'm sore, but just pretty pissed off that we had a really good car and continued to not show result for it.
Where do you think it would have ended up?
Hard to say, but
think top 10. Those last couple of restarts were crazy.
Yep, I think we were with the way it shook out. We were better than the 71 and the 77. Both those guys got top 10s. I don't know. We've been inside the top 10.
So, yeah, it's. I don't know. It's.
I mean, we
demoralizing at this point. Kind of the way that your year has gone.
Yeah, it sucks.
Especially coming off the break, off of the news that you weren't going to be in the 7 car. Just looking to finish out strong, and it's been
not the case.
Been 2 weeks pretty dismal, but
yeah.
Hey man, it's part of racing. You just get back on the horse next week. Go to your best track.
Another place where you might as well have the belts tight again.
Well, I think it's one of your better tracks though.
Yeah, our only top 10 of the year has been there in the Daytona 500 last time we went. So obviously this is got a chance at Darlington as well. We run well there, but Daytona, there are 20 guys outside looking in that think they have a chance to win there as well, and we're one of those. Anything can happen. So, I mean, that would be at least a little bit of a silver lining on as bad the season's gone. But, I mean, we're going to prepare a lot. This is Stephen Parsons, my spotter's first speedway race he's ever spotted. So, we're going to sit down tomorrow and kind of go through some things on how we like to call it. So, that'll be – he's been good.
What did he say when you flipped? What was that conversation like? Did you hear him when you were flipping?
That's kind of like last week we talked about Austin Dillon. When you hear if you're listening to the spotter or not. I'm not listening. I'm just like, oh, here we go. He did say, he goes, I don't know if it's going to make radioactive, but I just said, easy. Yeah. That thing just started taking flight. Like, what am I going to do here? Hold the brake?
A lot of talk already about, there was a lot of talk from Jeff Burton on the broadcast, and then listening to the teardown on the way here, just like, why are the cars doing that? Jeff was pretty adamant that, there's been a lot of money spent to keep these cars on the ground when they spin. But the fact of the matter is, you're doing 180 miles an hour. Mm-hmm. Like you said, big headwind. You don't want to see them get up in the air. We saw one also in the Xfinity race, almost in the exact same spot. That is a place on that backstretch with it being flat and kind of the way.
A little bit of a banking transition to the apron.
But not much, right?
Yeah, right.
So you don't have like a big force on the car, and it just seems to get light back there when that.
Well, the Xfinity race, somebody hit the 28 car, which got it up.
Which was the most interesting part about your flip, because I don't think we've seen just a single car without getting, hit in one spot, just take off like that. So obviously they took your car to R&D.
Yep. Yeah, there wasn't much left of it, but they took it there. I'm sure they're going to look through it. And I was wearing a mouthpiece sensor as well, so they'll get some data on that guy.
Did you
I
pass
felt like
your
the old iGun, the little tablet deal where you read a bunch of numbers in order? I think so. They let me leave.
That's good.
I didn't even go home. You went home, got brushed up, showered up.
Well, yeah,
I still got my
working.
freaking socks on.
Well, yeah, I was actually working.
And I've got legitimately
in my car. I was like,
I legitimately have like dirt like down my back. I'm dedicated to the show.
Me too.
Because there's nothing more that I look forward to than flipping my ass over, getting in my truck when I land, and driving and talking about it. That's my favorite thing to do.
Should have kept your clump of grass.
What do you mean? Bring it in like a pet rock?
Yep. We could have planted it like some flowers in it. When life gives you lemons, could have planted a tree in it. What happened here? Kyle Sieg and Corey LaJoie flip compilation they got up on the screen. Yeah, this is more of a wreck that you see these cars get up and over with.
You could just change the numbers on that, and you've seen that wreck 10 times before.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a couple things. The 81's there, so the way the 81's picking the car up. Explainable.
Yep. All right, so there's that. Let's get on to the people who had a good day, shall we? That sucker went up and over quickly.
Yeah, it did.
Goodness. Denny Hamlin, did he spin out yesterday?
Spun out yesterday.
Okay. So he spun out, running second behind the 23. Real bad aero spot there. Asking all you can ask for out of the right front. Gets into Bubba's wake, gets the big death push. You see the flame come out the pipes there. Bah. He kept his leg in it.
Spin out or knock the fence down.
Yep. Obviously that thing, grass was wet, so he was trying to get out of it all he could. Surprising to me, he kept his leg in as long as he did, but if you crack your throttle, if you anticipate it making it out of corner and you lift there, it's going to be let's try to listen to it. Crank that up if you look. Back it up again. Let's hear the old throttle front end 11. Yeah, you got the old death push. I was surprised he he covered his nose up a bit more than I anticipated, but granted, I'm also running 25th there, and Denny wins a lot of races. So not a mistake you see that 11 car make very often.
I'm Ryan Flores. Join Kim Kuhn and myself each and every week right here at Around the Track.
Whether you are going to the racetrack or watching from home, we get you ready for all things national and regional level.
And we'll tell you who and what to watch for each week. Plus, we get you ready for the weekend at the racetrack, and Erica will help you place your bets to win some easy money.
Be sure to check out Around the Track every Wednesday on NASCAR's YouTube channel. Speaking of winning a lot of races, it was like all the guys who are in the news for the points, the 4 guys at the top of the points battle and the guys at the cut line all had very interesting days. There was another guy that wins a lot of races, Kyle Larson. He had it's tough lap and a half where he not often looks very human, but he did on that lap and a half, and that's what was interesting to me. It seems like there's a lot of risk and reward on taking runs at Michigan.
Yeah.
And the higher risk you take, you put people in bad air spots like we just saw, but then you also have things like happened to Kyle where he kind of plugged the bottom, didn't make it, didn't make it.
Got stuck in the middle.
Kind of got stuck and washed up, and we came across his nose and he spun out. But like you talked about with Carson Hostfarn here last week, Michigan's probably the place where it's like fill the hole and let the rest take care of itself.
Mm-hmm.
So we got
play this one. I haven't seen what this one is. Oh, Larson 3 wide bottom, clear to the lead.
See, and then he just puts the 45 in a spot where like either you're gonna lift or.
When 2 cars are in front of you, it legitimately is like nitrous booster, dude.
Well, right when the 45 and the 11 get close to each other, they start dragging each other back.
Right. Bubba's not even in the picture with this run. This is on Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Holy he's going like 15 miles an hour faster.
What was interesting to me...
209.2 is my top speed.
Going back to when Denny spun out, Bubba was leading, and then he didn't take the stage win. He pitted, and we ended up winning the stage. And I was like, man, on the points... like where they're at in points, I would have taken that. Obviously, Booty can see a whole, grander picture than I can, being in the 12 pit box changing front tires. Yeah. But
he'd be liking them 10 points back right now.
Well, no matter what happens in the race, you got 10 points, right? Mm. So you just I think when you're points racing, you just stage points change the game so much.
Yeah.
Then it got crazy at the end, and the 17 spins out in front of you. So no matter what happens, you've already controlled what you can control. But yeah, I don't know. I was happy we got a stage win there. So that was.
What's this? Good. What's this video here? Corey to the top 10. Higgy, what is that? Good restart. Oh yeah, starting on scuffs here. Running 12th. Chose the top.
This is today.
Yep, first restart of the day. Knew our hot rod was good from the previous day, so. Let's see what we got here. Top side rolling here. Let's see what we got. Just wild.
It feels like as rewarding as when you're in a traffic jam and you choose the right lane. And then you just go by everybody. It's like, oh.
And then you see I did it right.
Black Silverado that you were behind and you pass by him and you're like, yep.
That's exactly what it was. Like, some guy's 3 car lengths ahead of you in the middle of the corner, and then halfway in the back stretch, you're like, see it. Got it at target.
Oh, that's real nice. Got it at target. Austin Cindric slide job gone wrong is our next video here. I watched this one and I thought about how much you speak of getting on the left rear stop. Because it looked like it just dumped over on the left rear stop. When you watch it again, it gets on there and then he kind of is going straight.
When that sucker is that sideways, your day is about to come to an end.
Play it one more time, Haig. Yeah, here. Watch it fall over though.
Ooh. But the right rear's chattering there.
Okay.
And then it does sit in the left rear stop, but when that thing stands up and it relaxes the sidewall of the right rear, you lose all the grip it was making.
Ricky seemed challenging in the past just from watching where we were. So I don't know if he did a good job putting himself in aero positions where it was hard.
He had a pretty fast car.
Yeah, he was fast.
Yeah.
But like we were getting through. And
there's like 30 fast cars. And you just kind of fall in wherever you are and try to get a couple guys around you.
Yeah, so green flag pit stops, 2 of the Fords come in and have right rear tire issues right away. So the 38 is the first one that pops the right rear. Oh. Which when I see something like this right after a pit stop cycle, I'm like, okay, is the wheel loose? Because and then the 22 comes in with it as well.
Joey's driving that thing on
the
flat tire. Jesus.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Now, the 16 has a flat tire as well. I wonder if that's just trying to get greedy with the air pressure.
I think it is.
Yeah.
I think that's what. Oh, there's your caution. See, that's the best thing that can happen if you have a flat, right?
Yeah, for it to come off.
Yeah, is that you
lock the field down.
Yeah, but the 16 also spins. Did he spin
down the straightaway?
I couldn't tell what was first, chicken or the egg from that video, because when you spin out, you inevitably have flat tires.
He cut a tire, spun out.
So, like we've seen in the past, haven't seen in a while.
There's a lot of
juice.
You
get greedy with air.
Yeah, that's a lot of juice there, taking air out of the right side tires.
Then on a green flag stop, you go out on it, you abuse it right away from the flat to the banking. It cracks the sidewall. You blow tire. It's not fun. One thing to touch on, since the 16 had flats like that, this week they gave us the option to run a system from Olin's. It's just an air system that juices up your rear.
All 4 shocks.
Just the rears.
All 4.
Is it all 4?
Mm-hmm.
So, because I think when we did it at when we did it this weekend, it was just the rears, I believe, but I could be wrong. I think it's just the rear shocks.
You might be right.
So
it's pretty neat, actually.
It works very well, because like when we did it at practice this week, I thought that it was going to be like super aggressive, and it was really nice up, really nice down, like a low rider, you know. So what it does is it just juices the rear shocks all the way.
There's a chamber in there
to extend. It extends your rear suspension all the way down, so that way your rim or whatever amount of tire is left on the rim will get you back to your pit box without killing your underbody.
The 16 had that, he'd have made it.
Yep, and then it's right by your A post, so right the driver's left hand, then you just reach in there once you're done with the stop and you pull a relief valve and it lets the air back out and you keep going on with your day. So something cool that NASCAR has come up with. The 16 car, I don't know if they had it this week.
They did not.
But it's mandatory going forward.
Is it after this week?
I believe it is mandatory. I don't know if it's race by race. It's just kind of what I heard, but we don't need it.
We talked about Kyle Larson. Let's go ahead and show the clip if you're watching on YouTube. Not often you see that 5-car round.
He was already spinning before he got to us, wasn't
early.
he?
He tries to run the bottom, kind of shears off the bottom, and then he just is in a bad aero spot, trying to ask a little bit too much out of the rears. And that was all she wrote.
A lot of contenders, a lot of playoff contenders.
14, 17, 5 20, 23. Right, those guys come out on tires. Some guys stayed out on tires. This is coming to the end of the second stage. There was like 5 to go. Bad spot to be in right there. Obviously, that thing's around. Bubba's trying to squirt the outside. Like, can I make it? Nope, can't. Pow, pow, pow.
Punting him into it a little bit.
The 38's the one that come in there and wiped out about 3 of them.
I feel like the 20 cars had a pretty rough go this summer. I watching it live, I didn't know if it was like we kind of came down, but he was spinning before.
Yeah, big lick at.
If you watch this whole lap from Kyle, like I said, it just nothing he did really worked out for him. He was very aggressive on the restart, running the bottom. He was trying to make the bottom work, and it just didn't work out. It caused a big wreck.
Yeah, if you're making the bottom work, you really got to hope a hole opens up out of 2, or you get freight trained.
Big wreck.
Hate that for Bubba.
Michigan seems like a very sketchy place because we see it. Obviously,
fast.
It seems like you're on edge, and like we saw with you, even down the straightaway, right? Because you're trimmed out, and you saw the 2-car bust his ass. We saw the 19
bust his ass,
and Ryan was like, "I'm doing all I can to not wreck here." So it looked like, and there was a lot of moments where you guys kind of get out of shape and lose a bunch of momentum, and you just get blown by both sides. Let's look at a 19.
Well,
here.
The fans in the stands might not even notice, right? Or fans watching on TV. But when that wheel is light and you're going 198 miles an hour through the middle of 1 and 2, like, pucker factor is real. And pucker factor bit the 19 car too. I think a little bit, they didn't get a good shot of it. I think his left front hit that seam, the first seam. And it was pretty sensitive there because if you hit that left front on the seam, left rear gets on it as well. It changes your diffuser pressure. You're already on the verge of, you're trying to, I guess, guard your rear. However much lateral grip your rear has really determines how much you're able to turn the wheel. And when the really fast cars are trimmed out, you're not turning the wheel very much.
And you're in the throttle a lot.
You don't really lift all the way out. You're just.
You made some hay early running the grip strip, it sounded like.
Yeah. I saw. So I was right behind when I came out of our green flag pit stop in stage 2. We waited on fuel then just to set us up better for later in the day. So it gave up a spot or two on the racetrack, but I came out right behind the 45, and he started burning it in a little bit. And I was like 2 feet below him, and we ran 3 car lengths. I ran 3 car lengths behind him the whole run, and he starts getting a little higher. And then he started driving away. I was like, "Ooh, it's there!" So I start doing it, started running it. It only works with hot tires about halfway through the run. The resin, PJ1 activates fairly soon, but the resin really needs peak temperature tires to make it have equal to the amount of grip that normal green asphalt does.
It seemed from Ryan's feedback too that as the race progressed, the track changed quite a bit as the rubber got put down and lanes changed. But
I think Michigan's badass. Michigan State and the weather, not so much.
The racetrack is fine. Everything else I dislike, and I also don't like it at all. And
you like that?
I don't ever care.
So you feel about like at Michigan, I do at Richmond.
The racetrack is fine. I don't. There's so many chain link fences, and if you get down the wrong road and then you're like in this maze of chain link fences and you can't get in, and it's kind of only one way in and one way out, and then
if you just knew
you get in the infield and you got to drive through these dirt lots behind the TV compound and then around this bathroom, and then there's some buses, you go back here and then you're in the competitor lot.
Where's the violin at, Moise?
But traffic was terrible. Traffic was terrible leaving the racetrack yesterday too.
It was.
That was like god awful.
Well, hey, there's worse problems to have. People want to come watch us for change. That's good.
Well, hey, so all right, let's cover this before we move on from the 19. Should that have been a caution, you think, or no?
I don't know. I had Tweety Birds going at that point in time. I was in the Airfield Care Center. I don't know. He continued. He wasn't backwards.
We were having a conversation on our open mics. And
it was a caution.
I might put myself. It was a caution. Yeah, they threw a caution for it. Yeah. People are saying it shouldn't have been, but there was like 10 to go, and we were starting to tear the pit box down. And I said, "Boys, I can feel it in my plums. There's going to be a caution." And I said, "There's only one surefire way to get a caution: put my helmet in the helmet bag."
Yeah.
If I put my helmet in the helmet bag, caution's coming out. Put my helmet in the helmet bag. I zipped it up. Took my headstock off. Put it in my drawer.
Sure enough.
Got one hitting the fence. Caution, caution. I said, I might be incriminating myself, but I said, damn it, NASCAR might call me about manipulating this race because I put my helmet away. And it was just, it was so fun. But it was like a lap later. Caution. I'm like, I knew it. I knew it was coming. Do you think the guys in the tower get a little bit quick on the trigger? Because like it gets pretty tense with 10 to go. Like you got the guy leading, you got comers, goers, and it's like, okay, just get to the finish, like get to the white flag. Let's get done. And so everybody's kind of tense, and then, especially on pit road, you're like, are we gonna do one more?
I don't know any of the conversations that are being had up in the tower.
Well, I wonder if that tenseness transfers up there. Question.
I'm sure. I would also say that NASCAR would prefer a green-white checker. They would not prefer the race to end on a 70-lap run.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, but listen, I don't know.
I don't think that goes into their consideration when they're about to hit the button. I don't know.
So I would say when you compare the 2 and the 19's crash, right? The two noticeably got loose, chased it up there, hit the fence, straightened back out, and kept going. The 19 hit more flat. You couldn't tell if he blew a tire or if there's something wrong. So I think maybe that's why they were a little bit quicker on the trigger there. The 19 was also by himself, right? The 2 was racing somebody, so you could kind of tell that happened. But yeah,
I do know this. It was a caution.
It was a caution,
and then it set up
caution for everybody.
It was the same caution for everybody. It set up a green-white checker. Front row, Willie B, who has been, in my opinion, laying in the weeds a little bit. I wonder if Rudy's got a couple like tricks up his sleeve that he's been holding back, some little knickknacks, Husker do's, Husker don'ts for the playoffs. I don't know. Maybe that's a thing. Maybe it's not.
I only like snakes and sparklers.
Well, I feel like they put the sparklers on the 24 this week because that thing was pretty good. He lines up. He was the leader prior to this, correct? He was control car at the restart.
The first restart, the 45 was. Then he got beat on the restart. Then the 24 was.
Okay. So back and forth. Do we choose the top? Oh, numbers say the top. But 8 tires turn better than 4. So what's my man? Pull up the tape. He chose the top.
Yeah.
Which statistically.
The 24 chose the top.
Is the correct move.
But
the bottom lane formed up tighter and gave the 45 the thrust it took to get to the lead.
Brad, too, dumped out of the gas like super early getting in the one. I guess there was some talk that he had some trouble on restarts.
He was very low on fuel, too. I don't know if it stumbled.
The 24 might have been lower. Yeah, but I don't know. At the end of the day, the guy who should have won the race won. Tyler Reddick, the 45 team, has been on a heater. Their team has been great. And, yeah, I mean, he was
7 races in a row, 6 or better.
6 or better, and he got a win.
Dude, that is a hater of a run for Billy Scott.
His second win of the year. He is now the leader outright in the regular season standings.
That's a big deal.
That's a huge deal.
Watch out, guys. And we're going to Darlington.
Well, we're going to Daytona. He won the last super speedway race at Talladega.
Yes, he did.
Michael Jordan just out there throwing dudes around. And Darlington is a place where I feel like it was a watershed moment in his career, in his Xfinity career, when he went there in the Tim Richmond car. And he was having a dismal year driving for Junior Motorsports. Wasn't going great. He went there, crushed it, went on to win the championship that year.
Yeah.
It's a place where if a confident Tyler Reddick, I feel, from my time working with him and being a buddy, I would say he is very much a guy that rides waves of momentum.
I would
good
say
and bad.
I would say that there's a lot of us that do that.
Correct. But I think some people it affects more than others.
Yeah.
He is one that's highly affected by that, but they have been so good lately. And to see what he can do in these next 2 races, like I said, Daytona's Daytona, but it has come more down to strategy. We're all speeding your car and, putting yourself in contention all day. His pit crew has done that. They've kept him up front. And Darlington's just about being a dog. He's got that dog in him.
It's not even so much about being a dog. You have to be like a wild dog with like a leash, because you can't let the wild dog run too fast. Because when you're running this close to the damn wall, you can't let the big dog eat.
I swear there was a year there, speaking of dogs, where Kyle Busch was sponsored by I don't know if it was like Pedigree or what it was, but he was just aiming for the fence. He ended up winning the race, but he was just bouncing off the fence every lap. It's like, remember the old adage, like the old folklore that people used to put like wood 2x4s in the right side of their cars when they hit the fence? Yeah.
They used to do that. It's not folklore. That's actually true.
I know, but still, it's still kind of folklore, because you get in trouble for it. People would still try to do it. Not nowadays, but like later on in the career.
You would put legitimately 4x4s. Like you'd go to Lowe's, buy a fence post, and you'd put vice grip, like hose clamps on it, and hose clamp it to the freaking side. That's what they did back when men were men.
Yep.
With fence posts on the side.
Boys went home. Answer this question for me. Question of the week. We've already covered it, but give me your best synopsis. What?
Oh, hang on. Before we get into that, do you have the in-car camera for Ross Chastain after that crash? So this had big playoff implications. The one was in decent shape, running how he was prior to this. So this is going to change the course of the one season, I believe, because this is, I don't know, about a 15, 18-point swing. Gets stuck in the grass, and he's just like, no, right here. Oh, right before cut. He just gives it like the old, like,
No visor strip for Ross Chastain.
Raw dogging it. Just
going for it.
So, just doesn't care about UV rays. He
just in the gas in that in-car. Look at him mowing the grass down there. That's the bummer about rain, right? It had rained, grass was wet, you get stuck.
Yes, it does. So I felt that when I was watching it in the lounge after we crashed. I just saw Ross like because those guys are fighting and scrapping and clawing for every single point, and you get down to an green white checkered, and that happens. You're like, damn it! It's legitimately an entire day's work, 2 days' work rather, and in my case too. One slight miscue, one slight misplacement of a wheel, and then you are legitimately up on your roof.
You know what they say? When you get stuck, you say, let's go to the question of the week.
Yeah, it is what they say.
So Higgy's got the question of the week here as what caused 2 cars to flip this weekend at Michigan? We covered the 28, but give me the best synopsis of what you actually think made your car flip this weekend.
I don't know. One, it being sideways. That did not help. I'm not an engineer. There's a lot of smart aerodynamicists over at the R&D center that I'm sure will recreate that crash and figure out why it did it.
Yeah.
So I'm not even going to be able to. There's wind, there's car speed, there's wind direction, and there's the angle of the car that has all the 3 variables.
And there's Corey LaJoie's 2024 season to factor in.
Also helping just pick the car up. Like, just
what else can happen? Oh, I know.
Just leave the
I'm
ground.
going straight down the backstretch, and now I'm upside down. This is my year in a nutshell.
Here we go. Just, Lord, take me now with my kids.
Oh, goodness.
Great stat here from Seth Eggert. The following have had 2+ flips in the same NASCAR season. There's a couple Hall of Famers on that list, guys. I feel pretty honored to be on that list. Corey LaJoie, 2024. Rusty Wallace, 1993. Richard Petty, 1963. Junior Johnson, 1958. Marvin Pants, Fred Lorenzen, Herb Thomas. The Fireball Roberts. He's not on there. I'm just throwing out Hall of Famers. The list is long, guys.
It hasn't happened in 31 years. Congrats, dude.
I wear a 44 regular.
Yep.
Give me a blue jacket right now.
And, hey, both races where you have flipped, Tyler Reddick has won. So you're good luck.
I feel like you ought to send me a damn fruit basket.
He might.
Or at least a McDonald's kids meal.
Well, I'll tell you where there was no kids this weekend on pit road.
You didn't ask me a question, did you?
Yeah.
I did flip.
I didn't ask you a question. I asked you the question of the week that Higgy wrote down, and you don't have an answer for it.
I don't have an answer.
Sorry about your question, Hig. Let's go to the dog's week because I got answers there.
Do you?
Yep.
There were some woes though, so let's not get too far ahead of stuff. Let's take a little breather. Let's get this train back on the rails, get this car on all 4 tires, and we'll come back pit road boats and woes right after.
Less than this ruler determine the winner of the race.
You put him in this position, and we're having the conversation today about why did every other crew chief miss the 2-stop strategy?
This is Formula One racing, this is road course racing, and this is also short track racing.
You've only got to get to here, just over a carway.
Catch NASCAR Inside the Race each week on NASCAR's YouTube channel.
And we're back for some pit road boats and woes. This one was wild. I'm sitting in there in my pit box.
One woe I had before we got going was Hassler comes over the radio. He's like, hey, 10 or 15 more till we pit. I needed to share this with you because I forgot to in the last segment. And I was like, all right, I'm going to go take a leak. So I'm in the porta potty, and we got the open mics, and Apps is just like, oh, no. And my pit coach comes on, and our sports psychologist, his name is Jeremy Boone. And Ray, our coach from the truck, he's at the control stand. He goes, oh no, Flores, you need to call Boone before this next pit stop. Your boyfriend's upside down. And I'm like, Court, what? How did he end up upside down? And Trevor's like, it ain't good. And I'm in the I'm just like draining the main vein. Like, oh no, what? How is he okay? What's going on?
Is he dead?
And then I come out and I watch the video. I'm like, oh shit, he did flip. But that's where I learned. I was in the porta potty, learning about you getting upside down. I thought it was funny to share. Another guys that are on those same comms with our
I
pick
think that was
coach
very funny.
are the 20.
It's not funny,
Hey man, I'm finding humor in all of it. Wait, hey, listen, we don't laugh, we're gonna cry. On to the 21. I don't know what happened here. I know these guys. Ooh.
But he didn't even get turned. Oh.
Looked like.
Okay, there you go. We're pitting this unit.
5 away. You're gonna make it. Turning in right here. Stop. Whoa. Turn the box. Pit it.
So, but stop that. Pause that right there. Go back a little bit. Jeremy Bolins and I. Go back to where Bolins. Yep. So Jeremy Bolins and I have worked together for a decade. We were on the 22 Xfinity car together. We were on the 21 car together. Moved to the 12 car together. We were on the 2 car together with Brad. Many of times have he looked from that perch at me and asked me why I suck so bad. That has a what? And he'd give me one of these, what the hell was that? And I go, I suck. You hear me?
Yeah.
I sucked again. Why are you surprised? But yeah, I know that all too well, that perch that he's on there. Those guys did a great job. They're all our youngest guys at Penske. Ty did a good job not getting hit. The Jackman and Jordan, the carrier, this is only his 4th or 5th race. They are the most vulnerable in that situation. I don't know what Harrison did. When you come around cars, it seems like, I've never driven them, your depth perception gets off and you can kind of get surprised by your box, and he kind of had a bad angle.
Probably a combination of second to first downshift there, locked the rear tires up and just got it sideways.
Too much rear brake too?
I think it sounded like in-car camera right when he went to first gear. It chattered the rear tires and then just started sliding.
And they did, but that being said,
not ideal.
They did a good job fixing it, moving on with their day, and nobody got hurt.
That's a wall for sure.
Tell him we lost internet. I'll let him know when we get our SMC back. We're good on fuel. We did tighten the car up. Freddie, what position are we in there? Yeah, Freddie, we're down here kind of up. We still don't have. We're using hot spots and everything we got.
Yeah, same thing. I'm trying to get it. I think 12th.
There is nobody more frantic at the racetrack than an IT guy when the internet goes out.
Oh, my God. No, I witnessed that today.
It's the worst.
Dude.
It's our guy David Perry looks like he's ready to kill somebody at all times. Because he's got
one job.
4 teams.
And he's got one job.
He's got one job. Make sure all the cameras work, make sure the internet works, make sure everybody's computer works, make sure all the radios work.
Yeah.
Like it is such a tough job.
Just make stuff, and if it doesn't work, you shut it off and turn it back on.
Yep. And then then you freak out.
Yeah.
But yes, that is a very tough thing to do, to call the race without internet, because you're so dependent on it, right? And like he said, he can't see SMT, he can't see what the car is doing. He knows he's good on fuel. They have comms that they're talking to the guys back in the shop, and the internet goes down, they lose that. So you lose everything. You're just flying blind, especially at a racetrack where you're...
I think we should get rid of internet for everybody. No internet at the racetrack.
Are you just mad?
Get out a pencil
Are you just mad?
and an abacus.
All right. Hey.
We got all these AI algorithms talking about this and that, fuel and percentage of points. Get rid of it.
See ya. Yeah, hey, whatever. I don't care. As long as it's the same for everybody, I don't care what they do.
That's probably a cold take, but I'm on the side of more tech is not good. But this is also the 21st century, so
yeah.
Can't put that toothpaste back in the bottle. But who are the dogs?
The dogs of the week, that leads us to the dogs of the week. It can only be one team, the 45 team, the whole team. Everybody from Billy Scott to the guys working on the car at the track, back at the shop, at airspeed, not the shop. Don't find me. And the picker guys, man, they've done a great job. If you finish in, like you said, the top 6 for 7 races in a row, that just shows a ton of maturity in your team. And, their pickers got some really good veterans. Hey, shout out to their jackman, Nathan Ricketts. He's a Michigan a Michigan man, a Michigan local, so that's a big win for his home state.
Did he play football there or something?
Yeah, he played Central Michigan with Trevor, my tire carrier, and Hugh Stamper, one of my good buddies. All those guys on that team, they are doing a great job. They're going to be tough to contend with come playoff time. So excited for them. Good luck to them winning the regular season championship, because man, that 15 points is going to go a long way.
A long way. They're in pretty good shape for it.
I love the race that's going on right now on that top 3 or 4. It's great racing, each week to see that change and to just be genuinely within 5 points of each other on both sides, the top of the playoff standings and the bottom.
For sure.
But I'll tell you what, I don't want to be in their shoes, because it feels like they're playoff racing already, and once you start the playoffs, it's like your nerves are already shot from that, and then you got to start again and survive and transfer each week. So
yeah,
good luck to the 45 car dogs of the week. They're crushing it right now. Slow down a little bit, guys. Damn.
On the track and on pit road, 45 guys are dogs. Penny for your thoughts, questions. We already answered that one. Which flip hurt more? Talladega or Michigan? They both did not feel good. Interested to see what that mouthpiece data is going to be. I think the flip in the grass was a bigger G load than the Talladega crash.
Talladega one was scary because there's other cars on top of you. It was just a gnarly wreck.
Yeah, with like a wheel in your windshield grinding it out. That one was sketchy. That was also my first ever flip in anything. And then I've doubled my flip count of my entire life in the last, 4 months. Don't recommend it. I recommend leaving the rubber side down. It hurts a lot less. I had a lot of people hand me pennies this week. Funny story, I was talking to Joey on, Friday or Saturday. He goes, yeah, I was doing an appearance and some guy walked up and gave me $1. He said, put this to your fine. Now you only need $49,999. I'm like, well, lucky you. My fans give me pennies.
Oh, I had a great just interaction with him. Our PR guy, Drew Taylor, Blaney was there, Warren Vigas, and Cliff Daniels about kickball today. I wish you were there. Oh, my God, I wish you were there. Cliff come walking up. I said, hey, Cliff, they were talking about kickball teams, and I said, Cliff, what's the best kickball team? He started talking, and
there will never be another.
And I said something. He goes, oh, yeah, that's what you need. Make your head bigger. And I said, you look more and more like Chad every week. And he got mad, and he goes, oh, well, 83 race runs and 7 championships ain't so bad. And Lagana goes, kiss his ass, why don't you? It was the best. It was the most fun thing that happened to me in Michigan while we were there.
I wish I'd have been in that. Thanks for the invitation for that conversation.
It was just naturally happened on pit road. It was literally my favorite thing that happened in Michigan.
A couple penny stackers this week. One, Shannon, met her in the garage area earlier today. Said she listened to the show. She was there with her friends. Shout out to her, as well as this fella. Let me open the Arctic treasure chest. So apparently, I commented on some fella's bolo tie.
I follow that guy,
and I said, "Yo, man, sick bolo tie. Make me one." So he made me one.
I follow that guy that makes NASCAR bolo ties
with a nice little note.
You gonna read it?
I'm not gonna read it.
Just Cliff Notes.
No. He's 18 years old. He's trying to make a name for himself in the sport, and he makes sick bolo ties. So hey,
what's his? Give the people his
Sparky Speedway Jewelry.
Oh, nice.
On Instagram.
I follow him. I do. He sold me.
It's made with genuine leather rope, and once you wear a NASCAR bolo tie, you'll look real clean and real mean. So guys, get you one of these today. We need a Stag and Pennies bolo tie.
A lot of penny stackers this week at the racetrack. No, why would you look ridiculous with a camouflage number 7 around your neck? You look great. A lot of people, more than normal in Michigan this week, just, hey, are you on the podcast? Hey, I love what you're doing. Like a lot of people. A lot of great fans up there in Michigan.
Anything grind your gears?
Yeah, I would like to talk about something that I think could be more common sense. I think racetracks, there's 3 of them, that don't have lights, especially the 2 that we can't run wet weather tires at.
Pocono, Michigan.
We need to start at 12:30. I understand TV time. I understand TV is what funds the sport, but 2 races a year, we need to be able to get those races in because we just put ourselves up against just the wall. Because I would like to see Pocono, Michigan, New Hampshire, Chicago definitely start 12:30, 1 o'clock to give ourselves some, especially Chicago. But I don't know what that's like being in the city with noise ordinance. I don't know. But we cheat our fan. We end up in the window. The finish of the race ends up in the window that they want to be in. And then I just feel like we cheat our fans. It's such a buzzkill. We spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's just a bummer when you see when you're pulling in the racetrack for the race.
We're not asking for 1 o'clock start times every week. Just places without lights.
3 places.
That's it.
And even you could take New Hampshire off because you can run on wet weather tires there.
Yep.
So like I can see an argument for like, yeah, let's keep going. But Michigan and Pocono, they're very hard to dry. We got to have a little bit of common sense here and say, okay, we don't have to stick to 2:30 start times at these 2 places.
I'll agree with that.
Cool.
Yeah, I think 98% of the Cup Garage would also agree with that. So let's look at that, guys. 1 o'clock start times. Michigan, Pocono allowed.
12:30.
I like 1.
12:15.
No, because like you got Granny's coming back from church. She had to stop by the diner, get a Salisbury steak sandwich.
She's gonna miss the first 20 laps. They're 4-hour-long races, Corey.
No, I want her to see it. I want to see her.
Okay.
She wants to see it drop the green.
Okay. Well, I don't want to see them drop a drop of rain.
I'd ask you. Okay. Shout outs, Justin Allgaier.
Yep.
Do you think this is the year he wins the championship?
I hope so.
I hope so too. He was leading, hauling ass of Phoenix first race of the year until he blew left rear tire.
Shout out to Greg from Off Axis and Justin's daughter Harper. They always do a cool helmet for the playoffs. I'm excited to see it's been a unicorn, it's been sparkles, it's been ice cream. I'm excited to see what they do this year. They always drop it for the playoffs, kind of with a message on it. It's cool to see.
Yep. That's all I got.
What Sean's making a face. What's your face?
He doesn't like your face. We like your faces, even though we can't see them each and every week. That's why we need you to like, download, share, rate, review, 5 stars. Send us your love. Send us your bolo ties. Send us your pennies. It's fine. We got a little bowl here. We're taking a collection up. Appreciate your thoughts and well wishes. I am okay. I will survive, and we'll finish the rest of this year strong. We're going down to Daytona. Also, at Stacking Pennies on Instagram. You can win some Arctic stuff. There's no telling. We got too much stuff going on each and every week, but continue to stack pennies in your daily life. And also, listen to us, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Apple, whether it's on Spotify, wherever you find your podcast or Sirius XM Channel 90. Stacking Pennies is here. And we're going to break down the sport we love and you guys love to watch each and every week. Keep stacking pennies. Have a great week. Goodbye.